mortals. You're entering the eerie depths of Chokeslam Radio, where expert insider WWE knowledge and secrets are unleashed with thunderous power.
Rest in peace.
Coming to you live straight from the heart of Death Valley. Here are your mysterious hosts, DRW15 and DJ Big Unknown.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Chokeslam Radio. As always, it's going to be a fire episode, so make sure you stay tuned. And at the end of the episode, we're going to reveal if I broke the world record or not for 100 pencils broken, or 110 pencils broken in 1 minute. Because, you know, we had a designated pencil counter last week and kind of dropped the ball on that one. But anyways, I'm DJ Big Unknown.
And I'm DRW15. Yeah, if you missed the last episode, you got to go back and check it out. We know we've got a lot of fans who watch every episode, but, you know, when we're putting them out every week, I know it can be a little tough sometimes to keep up with everyone. But there was a world record attempt made last episode. So if you missed that, you got to go back and watch the full episode. As DJ Big Unknown was saying, we can't reveal yet if you broke the world record or not. It was the most pencils broken in 1 minute. So make sure to go check that out and then come back here for the reveal later this episode. But we've also got a lot to talk about in the WWE world. The Royal Rumble's coming up. So a lot going on. Royal Rumble is usually the start of like the big events in WWE between that and WrestleMania. So there's going to be a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Well, last night we had the tag team. Well, I'm confused because now there's two tag team championships. So I don't know which one is which. It's kind of just like they both seem kind of dumb now because I don't know. Is one supposed to be better than the other, or?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't really understand why there needs to be two different tag team belts now. I think one was fine, but I think the match at the Royal Rumble is going to be DIY versus Motor City. I think.
I would turn my TV off.
Yeah, which is the one that like I don't really care about. So,
well,
whatever.
Like how long have those guys been fighting with each other? Like at this point, I don't know. It's getting kind of ridiculous that they're still going at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't really have any interest in it. Any of those guys. I mean, Midnight Motorists just came from like TNA, which is like some other company that, you know, we're going to be talking about too, because going into the Royal Rumble, WWE apparently made this big deal with TNA that they can now have TNA superstars come on WWE and WWE superstars can go on TNA. So I think, you know, they definitely did this right before the Royal Rumble for a reason. I think we could be seeing a lot of those guys, but we'll get into that later on our Royal Rumble predictions. But what was I even saying? Yeah, Midnight Motorists and DIY are just two tag teams that nobody really cares about, and they just are fighting, and it's weird. It's weird that, you know, if one guy gets the championship, then the other team gets like 10 different opportunities to win it back. Meanwhile, there's all these other really good tag teams. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you really think like either of those guys would stand a chance against the Usos?
No.
It's like it's a joke that they keep getting this main event.
I know, and it's crazy that this is one of the matches that's happening at the Royal Rumble. I get that everyone watches the Royal Rumble for the actual Royal Rumble, but it's still like a premium live event, so you got to have like all your best fighters out there. And yeah, as you're saying, like no one really cares about these guys. It seems like they just fight each other every week, and it's like two kind of mediocre tag teams because everyone knows these guys aren't beating the Usos. They're not beating the Bloodline. They're not beating. Probably not going to beat Dominic and JD McDonough, even though JD took a bit of a spill last night. That was a little bit crazy.
Yeah. You know, I used to think that JD McDonough was kind of an idiot. You know, he was kind of just like the guy on the Bloodline, or not the Bloodline, the guy on Judgment Day that everyone just bossed around and did whatever. And I was actually there live in person in Washington, D.C. last year when they officially made him part of Judgment Day. So that was kind of a cool moment, and it's crazy to see how far he's gone since then. But after last night, after slamming the back of his head against the desk and then finishing the match, even though they didn't win, the fact that he didn't just give up then, you know, shows a lot about, you know, this guy's a beast.
Yeah, I saw he put out something on Twitter today that he like punctured a lung and did all this crazy stuff, but somehow finished the match, which is, you know, you gotta tip your hat to the guy, and that's why he's a part of Judgment Day. You know, he might have been using a little bit of Finn Balor's demon magic. You know, Finn hasn't really used that in a while, so maybe he's passing it on to JD McDonough. But regardless, you know, the dude is a warrior. Smacked his head pretty good on the table and still finished the match. So you gotta respect it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think, you know, I was kind of surprised that the Viking Raiders or the War Raiders now, I'm surprised they were able to beat Judgment Day, because Judgment Day, even though it's kind of interesting, like Judgment Day used to be a lot better when it was like Damian Priest and Finn Balor as like the tag team, and now it's Dirty Dom and JD McDonough. But, you know, when you're going against the Judgment Day, that's still a big deal, and they were able to defend against the Judgment Day. So maybe the Viking Raiders are better than we realized.
Yeah. I mean, I was excited for the Viking Raiders to come back as well, and same thing. I was kind of confused when they came back and were like a whole different thing. But at the end of the day, those guys are still badasses, and I'm definitely excited to see more of them. And I would like to see them maybe in one of these matches instead of like DIY and friggin' Motor City every week.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they're putting all the big superstars over on Raw because it's Monday Night Raw is such a big deal. You know, even last night you had like 10 different rappers there. Like you know, it's the place to be on a Monday night, and it's actually like a cool event to watch. But SmackDown is still on USA Network, which nobody watches that channel. And they have a 3-hour show now where, like Netflix, if they're out of stuff to do, they can just end the show, which is what they've been doing. But SmackDown, they have to figure out what they're going to do for 3 whole hours. So I think that's why they're kind of dragging on this unnecessary beef between these two tag teams that nobody really likes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just frustrating to have to watch those same matches every week. We were complaining about the women's matches for the while, and now they're doing like the same exact thing with the men's. So I don't know. Hopefully we can see like a new tag team or like a breakup of tag teams or something crazy at the Royal Rumble, because if this is just another of the same matches, like no one really cares about it.
Yeah. And I think I kind of want to address the elephant in the room, how this new Monday Night Raw setup is really cool and fun to watch, but it's also, you know, dangerous when you take away Prime, when you take away that kind of hydration that these superstars have, that it shows how that can lead to pretty bad injuries. And I'm thinking if they still had that hydration station out there, not only would like being more healthy would prevent an injury, but also you know, you'd have more room. You'd have like, that doesn't really make sense, but you know, you would be able to position yourself better in the ring having that there. And now that they've taken it away, it's kind of disorienting. I feel like it's like if you were playing football and they decided to take away the field goals, like that would throw you off, even though it doesn't really affect you as a player on the field. That's something that you rely on to be there every time, and now it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, the WWE is an interesting sport too, because everything in and around the ring can be a part of the match. In football, you can't run out with like a chair or a baseball bat or something to help you. The gear is very regulated, but in the WWE, anything around the ring, a chair, a table, whatever, and certain matches can be used. And so having that Prime hydration station can be used as a prop, but it is also like a great station for the athletes to be able to drink, because I don't know if you've ever been to the arena, but there's no water or anything like that around there for the athletes. In the NFL, they can call a timeout if guys are getting tired. WWE, you can't call a timeout in the middle of the match. These guys are out there for sometimes like 30, 45 minutes. Royal Rumble, the match lasts like over an hour sometimes, and if you make it from start to finish, that's exhausting. So it might be nice to have that Prime hydration station right there. So if a guy gets eliminated, he doesn't gotta, go all the way backstage to replenish himself. Or, if he's getting tossed out, he can jump and land on the Prime hydration station and save himself. That's always an option too. So I see a lot of benefits for keeping that hydration station there, and we definitely have seen quite a few injuries now that the hydration station is gone. So I don't know. I think the WWE needs to reconsider a little bit.
Yeah, and that Royal Rumble match usually that lasts about an hour, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some guys, like I know the great Shawn Michaels was the first entrant one year and won the whole thing. So if you're going to be out there for that long, you need to hydrate a lot before going out there. Like imagine playing a football game or a basketball game with no water breaks. Like even in the UFC or boxing, those guys are chugging water at like every chance they can at their breaks.
Yeah.
You don't have anything like that in WWE. So like you could try to hydrate a ton right before, but then you're going to have to pee during the match. And the match can be so long. It's just, they're putting these guys in a tough spot, and, it really does make sense why guys are getting injured so bad.
Yeah, and it is a little confusing because the one guy who used to walk out with like a water bottle was Triple H, the CEO of WWE. His entrance, he always used to have a water bottle, and he would like spit up some water, but at least he's got one out there and he could drink a little bit, Stone Cold had his beers, but now there's nothing. And that's a little worrisome. I know Logan Paul declared for the Royal Rumble. We haven't seen him in a little bit, so maybe he'll have something to say about the lack of Prime, because I know the last time he was in the ring, they had the Prime hydration station and the the Prime logo, and sometimes he brings out his little Prime mascot with him. So I don't know if he's in a position right now to say anything, because he hasn't really been around for a while, but at least Logan's coming back. I think that's a step in the right direction for Prime in the WWE.
Exactly. And the last guy who made his appearance as the Prime bottle, IShowSpeed, has been formally invited by Triple H to the Royal Rumble. So I don't know if that means he's going to be in it or that he's just going to be live streaming there, but that should be interesting to see kind of behind the scenes what's going on during the Royal Rumble. And, if I was IShowSpeed, though, I would be worried about running into Randy Orton because, we haven't seen him in a while, but anyone can show up at the Royal Rumble. So I would be very careful if I was him.
And I know that Kai Cenat made a brief appearance last night on Raw as well. So they're getting the streamers out there. I don't know if Kai Cenat and IShowSpeed would fight. They would be a tag team, or what exactly would happen there. But those are two high-profile guys that are both going to be somehow involved in the Royal Rumble. I don't know if they'll come out as part of it, but yeah, as we said, we're going to do our predictions a little bit later, and we're hoping to see some celebrity appearances.
Right. And I like that idea of those guys being a tag team because they have a lot of chemistry. I've seen them playing Minecraft and stuff together. So, you know, playing Minecraft, I don't know if you ever played Minecraft as a kid, but that's one of the best ways you can bond with someone is, going into the mines and discovering all that stuff. So, they're not going to be the best tag team in the WWE, but I mean, there's not a lot of competition right now. I don't think they would be that much worse than Do It Yourself and the Midnight Motorists.
No. Yeah, I'd much rather watch those guys than the same stupid tag team match again. But yeah, like these live events, they're always trying to bring celebs out. The Royal Rumble is a great time to do it because anyone can come out when that buzzer sounds. No one knows who's next. So I'm definitely excited for it, and I feel like Triple H has got something up his sleeve. So we'll see.
So another big thing that happened last night was they announced the covers for the next 2K video game. And I mean, honestly, I wasn't going to get it this year, but now looking at the covers, it's like the two best wrestlers of all time, Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. And then they even had a Bloodline edition that had the whole Bloodline family tree. I thought it was interesting how The Rock wasn't included in that. But yeah, what are your thoughts on these covers?
Yeah, they were fire. I was shocked, but pretty stoked that The Undertaker was on it because I think I saw somewhere that he hasn't been on it in like almost 20 years, which is crazy because he's definitely one of the GOATs. And then, love to see Roman Reigns on the other cover. Big Niners fan. Hopefully he doesn't get the cover curse. I think that's the thing just in Madden. But there's always a chance that, when you're on the cover of one of these games, you get a curse. But,
Yeah.
It's interesting that I know Cody was on a previous cover, but he's still technically the WWE champion, and he's nowhere to be seen on like any of the editions. So it just
he was on the cover last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't include him at all anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's pretty cool that they're doing like a special Bloodline cover too. So it kind of shows that the WWE is really, really all in on this Bloodline cover. But yeah, if I'm The Rock, maybe I'm pissed, or maybe The Rock was invited and just didn't show up to the photo shoot. That's always a possibility too. He's always so busy with all his movies and stuff. He barely has time for the live events, let alone a photo shoot for a video game cover. So,
well, who else was at the photo shoot was Undertaker.
That's a good point. Yeah, if I'm Rock, I'm finding any excuse I can not to show up if the Undertaker's at the photo shoot because they haven't gone face to face since WrestleMania.
That does make me wonder. A couple of weeks ago for the Raw premiere, Undertaker showed up at the end of Rhea Ripley's match, and people were kind of confused why he showed up because all he did was just go in there and like patrol around the ring we don't really know. I'm thinking maybe he saw The Rock was there, and wherever he was, he got to the stadium as fast as he could, but was there a little too late. Because, The Rock was, I don't know if you saw this, but he was doing a live stream after, he was drinking tequila there. He was getting in his truck with the tequila and driving off. He looked worried and kind of stressed out, or else I don't know why you would need to drink and drive at a game. I don't know. Maybe he does that normally, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah. I mean, The Undertaker's always, got something up his sleeve. He's a very experienced wrestler, and he didn't show up just randomly. So, whether it was to, just scope out the arena a little bit, see what's changed with the new Raw on Netflix, or to, plan his next attack on The Rock or someone else, it's pretty cool to see him bring back the motorcycle, but he definitely has some tricks up his sleeve, and I bet that's not the last time. he's showing up. But I think it would have been a little unfair of him to attack The Rock when The Rock's drinking tequila and all that. The Undertaker knows that. He wants to face The Rock when he's at his best and show him, who the real final boss is. So he probably saw that The Rock was a little tipsy and decided to just make his presence felt, but not do anything too crazy.
Yeah. So are you going to get the new 2K?
I think I might have to, I haven't gotten a WWE game in a while, but with the Undertaker on the cover, and it's a great game. I think I used to enjoy the games a lot, so hopefully they have some special like Undertaker moments or something in there. But I think this might be the game to get.
I don't even really like calling it a game because the way technology and AI has advanced so much in the last couple of years, I don't even want to call it a game because it's more of like a simulated reality. It's a tool. It's a tool you can use to figure out who would win against this guy if they fought in this type of match, like what kind of moves would they do. It's kind of like a simulation, like what they're doing at like NASA, simulating different like meteors and stuff that could come in. And I think that's why Dirty Dom and the Judgment Day are always playing that in their locker room. I mean, it didn't work out last night, but you have to take any advantage you can. And sometimes just the normal statistics aren't enough. You need to run these types of advanced simulations that 2K is making. So I think it's pretty smart that Judgment Day has been doing that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Obviously, watching the matches as a wrestler is important, but if you can actually use yourself and play in a match against your opponent before you actually do it in real life, you can predict the other opponent's moveset or find weaknesses or something like that. So I think video games are super important for wrestlers, and that's why Dirty Dom and Judgment Day have been successful. It's because they're backstage, having a good time playing games with the bros, but at the same time they're putting in the film work and getting ready for the match. And you can do both at the same time. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I think there was a movie called Gran Turismo, I think, where it's about F1, but the drive, there was a guy who never even drove a real F1 car before, but was really good at the game. I think it would be interesting if we took the top WWE 2K player and put him in the ring, maybe in the Royal Rumble. That's a good chance to do it, and see how they compete against these other superstars. Maybe they're even better.
Yeah, there's always a chance. Yeah, I've played a lot of Madden, and sometimes I watch NFL games. And I'm like, I wish some of these coaches played more Madden, because you watch them screw up clock management or call terrible plays. Like, these dudes don't know what they're doing. Maybe if they had played this game on Madden before they got out there, they would have a bit of a clue. And I think the same goes for WWE. I think the only problem is, some of these guys that grind the 2K video game maybe aren't the most athletic in the ring. But give them a prime and let them go to work and see what happens. I know I think I watched a video of IShowSpeed after WrestleMania, and he was fighting Randy Orton in the WWE video game. So, he's putting in the work behind the scenes, and I think next time they come face to face, maybe he'll be prepared for the RKO.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because like, where else are you gonna be able to train that way? You can't just train in real life against Randy Orton all the time. But if you had a simulated AI Randy Orton that was pretty much the same thing, I mean, that's probably the best training you could do.
And the guys that make these video games, like, it's their whole job to make them as realistic as possible. So if they're doing their job, then these matches are going to be pretty realistic. I wonder if The Rock has been playing any of the video game to prepare for if the Undertaker shows up again. But that's the thing with the Undertaker, he's putting in the work too, and Sometimes he does things you can't even do in video games. So, that's just the magic of the Undertaker.
That's probably why they ended up making the new version Undertaker themed, is because The Rock probably, since he's final boss, he probably made the call to do that, and probably did that so he could know everything about him for the next time they face.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. I also know they have a general manager mode in the game where you can play as a GM. I think we need to get Adam Pearce on that to get some practice.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I guarantee Adam Pearce has never tried out that mode. He probably doesn't even know that it exists, which is crazy because he's the GM of Raw. But yeah, I think absolutely we got to get him on there. We should plug in some of his actual matches and just see how poor of a grade we get, see how long it takes before we get fired. Because I guarantee if you did what he's doing in a video game and actually we're trying to level up or get feedback, you do pretty poorly. So maybe he could learn a thing or two from the video game. Because there's a whole mode dedicated to being Adam Pearce, basically. So why not if you're the dude himself, get on the game a little bit and try some things out.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have a video game about my job, because I would be playing that all the time. And they imagine if they had a Chokeslam Radio video game where you could talk to an AI. You know what? We could maybe make that. But
in the Discord.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, we have a new Discord. I don't think anyone's watching this right now, but if you're watching the recording, we have one viewer. But we have a Discord channel. I'm gonna put the link. Shoot. Anyways, there's gonna be a lot of crazy stuff happening on this Discord. So you're gonna want to join, and so you don't want to miss out on this stuff. How do I find the freaking link to this thing? Oh, invite, copy. I'm putting the link in the chat, and it's also should be in the description of the video as well. But
let me see if I can see it. There we go.
Anyways, last night, we were talking about CM Punk last week, how he beat Drew McIntyre, and now he thinks he's the greatest wrestler in the world, better than John Cena, better than Cody Rhodes. And last night we saw him talking a bunch of crap to Cody Rhodes for no reason. No one invited him out there. So it was, I don't know. It was predictable that was going to happen, but what are your thoughts on CM Punk? Do you think he has any chance at winning this Rumble?
No, I don't. I think if there was someone who I would bet against, I think it would be CM Punk. He's always all yap and can never back it up. The only way he wins matches is by getting in the other dude's heads or fighting Drew McIntyre over and over again. But if he's going to be in the ring with Logan Paul and John Cena, I don't think he has a chance.
No.
I would be shocked. But
also with Roman in the match, not happening.
No shot. He's okay in one-on-one settings, and he's pretty good on the mic. But get him in the ring. He's enemies with everyone. He's gonna run in there, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I freaking hate this dude. Let's get him out." I don't think he's gonna last long. So we'll see. There's always a chance, but with some of the names that have already declared for the Royal Rumble, I don't think Punk's got a chance.
No. All right, so I was thinking we could maybe do Royal Rumble predictions. So there's a game that we're gonna do where we're each gonna pick. There's already 15 people. By the way, I don't like how they're doing this. There's already 15 people who announced themselves for the Royal Rumble. So we already know half the people who are gonna be in it. So which is annoying, because one of the best things about Royal Rumble is that anyone could show up. now we already know like half of the lineup.
Yeah.
So it takes away a lot of the surprise and anticipation. I don't know why they're doing that this year, but that leaves room for 15 other people. So I was thinking we're going to play a game where we each guess who we think the other 15 are going to be, and then whoever gets the most out of that is the winner.
Yeah. That sounds good. We'll each guess how many?
15.
Okay.
But before we get into that, let's go over who has already declared. So shoot, I'm messing up the TikTok stream. There we go. Okay. Okay. So here are the 15 who have already declared: LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know why he's in it. Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Braun Breaker, and Carmelo Hayes. So, out of those people, who do you think could win if it was just those people?
That's a good question. I mean, I would love to see John Cena take it. He is getting old, so I think it really depends on when he's entering. But you know, he's a guy with experience. Has he won the Royal Rumble before? I know he's won some of the other big ones. I'm not positive if he's won the Royal Rumble or not.
I'm getting the analysts too.
Yeah, we got a messenger analyst. Another guy, I mean, Roman Reigns is always a dominant force in the ring. I think the only problem is he's got a target on his back because everyone knows he's a beast. But you know, when that guy comes in the ring, it's pretty hard to get him out.
The analyst is saying Cena won in 2008 and 2013.
Dang, so it's been like 12 years, but he's already got two under his belt. Yeah, I mean, let me look at the rest of the list. It would be cool to see Penta win it. You know, a new guy. I think maybe he and Rey Mysterio go head to head. That'd be pretty cool. And then Braun Breaker's my other pick because he's Braun friggin' Breaker.
Yeah, I think those are good picks, but you know, I think the only guy who really has a real chance of winning this is Roman Reigns. Like, he's gonna win. The only thing that makes me kind of doubt it is that he has a lot of enemies right now. You know, we don't really know who else is going to be in it, but we know Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, those guys still are not with him, you know. Even though he has the Ulafal and now they don't acknowledge him and they're still going to try to attack him.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa, on the other hand, we haven't seen him in a while. He showed up that one time, but he never really indicated what was going on. But I believe that Solo really does acknowledge Roman, or if he doesn't, he will.
You think
because
so?
he did before. Yeah, because he, you know, he's not going to break the rules of the bloodline. He has too much, you know, respect for his family's history. And he knows he lost that fair and square. So now he knows that, you know, it's Roman's time to be tribal chief again. And maybe he'll get another opportunity in the future. But, you know, I don't think he's a guy to just break the rules like that.
No, that's a good point. I think he definitely overstepped a little bit and maybe realizes that he did. But it's hard to kind of back down when now he's got Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa like backing him up. and now The Rock is involved too. So he's got a lot of different people to kind of appease here. But yeah, if he enters at the Royal Rumble, that would be interesting to see what happens with him and Roman, and if the other members of the Bloodline are there as well.
All right, so I'm gonna name off who I think the other entrants are gonna be. I have a list.
Should we go back and forth, or should we just?
Yeah, let's go back and forth. So we gotta do 15. Ooh. Okay. So my first pick is Dirty Dom Mysterio. I think we're gonna see him in the Royal Rumble. You know, especially if Rey Mysterio and Penta are in it. It'll be really cool to see those guys go up against each other. So Dirty Dom is my first pick.
Okay.
And you can pick people. I have mine written down already.
Okay.
But you can pick the same as me too, but it's up to you.
All right. My first pick is I'll go with Kofi. I love seeing Kofi in the Royal Rumble. He's always pulling off something crazy. Him and Xavier Woods have had some like weird stuff going on the past couple of weeks, but Kofi always shows out for the Royal Rumble. So I'd be disappointed if he wasn't in it.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Yeah, speaking of Kofi too, that was a tough night for him last night. Him and Xavier, you know, their family showed up to support them, or at least they thought they were there to support them, but then they had New Day sucks shirts on, which that's actually insane. I could never imagine like if my family showed up to one of my football games wearing like Sage Hands suck. That would be awful.
I know.
But anyway, so my pick for number 2, I'm going with R-Truth. Okay. He was in the Rumble last year. In fact, he was in both Rumbles last year, men and women. And he did a great job, and you know, the crowd loved him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's in it again this year.
Yeah, I would love to see R-Truth. He hasn't been around a ton lately, but yeah, would love to see our buddy back. We love seeing him in the ring, and I think he's had some crazy Royal Rumble experiences in the past. I think one time, was he in the Women's Royal Rumble? Is that what it was?
Yeah, there was another time that he got confused and thought it was the Money in the Bank match, so he brought out the ladder. But the thing is, if it was Money in the Bank match, he would have won the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, unfortunately, so it was just kind of bad luck there. But
yeah,
I think, you know, I could seriously see him winning it.
Yeah, dark horse. We've talked about it quite a few times. That he and Cody have like a long history. So it would be cool to see him win the match and be able to challenge Cody for the belt. Yeah. Let's see. My next pick, I'm going to go with Omos. It's a bit of a risky one. We haven't seen him in a while, but I would love to see him come back. He's another force to be reckoned with in the Rumble. He's huge. Sometimes that's better for, you know, getting guys out of the ring because he's easier to throw over the rope. But this dude is so big that I think it'll be tricky. And he's been up to a lot. He's been up to a lot of side quests lately, but he's been active. He's out there. So that's another dark horse to win it.
My number 3 pick, you already said him, but Kofi Kingston, you know. Kofi is, you know, when you think of the Royal Rumble, you think of Kofi. So he's got to be in it. You know, whether you like him or not, he's been putting on some fire matches lately. So that's who I'm going with for number 3.
Can you hear me? I think I lost you there for a sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kofi's an exciting one. Along with that, I would like to see Big E come back for the Royal Rumble. I don't know that he will, but as you kind of touched on, there's been a lot of drama with New Day, and I know that Big E kind of came back a little while ago to try to get Kofi and Xavier back on good terms, and they turned their backs on him. So
Right.
this might be
Yeah, that's a.
to come back.
I think that's a good pick. I'm not gonna go with that just because, he did break his neck pretty bad, and he also said he isn't cleared yet. But there's nothing more motivating than your two best friends for your whole life betraying you. Some people, if that happened to them, they would go into hiding and kind of cry. But I don't think Big E's that type of guy. I think that lit a fire under his ass, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is now going to try to come back so he could beat their asses.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's still a good pick, but I'm not going to go with it.
Okay, that's fair.
We have a fan who says Royal Rumble injury returns are the best. So, yeah, I think, thank you to our fans who leave comments. Yeah. All right. So what are we on? 4? My fourth pick.
4 or 5.
My fourth pick is Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen him in a while, and he was in a Royal Rumble already before, but he's been talking on social media a lot lately, saying that he's the best celebrity WWE wrestler ever and all this stuff. So I think we could see him return. And I think, the Rumble is the place to do it. So Bad Bunny is on my list for my
That's
number
a great
5.
one. Yeah, I know that he was talking about he wants to go all out the next time he's in the WWE. So the Royal Rumble is a great opportunity to do that as long as you can stay in it. So I like Bad Bunny as a pick there for sure. My next pick, I've got 2 kind of half picks because I know it's in Indianapolis. I think Pat McAfee is announcing, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't think he's the most likely, but we've seen it before where even guys who are announcing or something, all of a sudden their music will play and they'll get called in. So I think either him or for the Women's Royal Rumble, Caitlin Clark, because she's a member of the Indiana Fever. And we've talked about before how Caitlin Clark maybe needs to let out some of her anger in the WWE because she was kind of getting bullied a little bit by some of the other athletes in the WNBA. And those guys are both sort of sports stars in Indianapolis because Pat McAfee played for the Colts and Caitlin Clark for the Fever. So there's always a chance they like to bring out celebrities, and I think the crowd would go crazy if either of those two were entrants in the Rumble.
I agree with that. I also have another half pick for my next one. I'm going with Hornswoggle. I think he hasn't been in the Royal Rumble in a while, so I'm going with him. We haven't heard from him in a while, and I think he could always show up. He's been in the Rumble before. It can happen again.
Mm-hmm. My dad just texted me that he's 10 minutes out, so we have time. But
okay,
yeah, my next pick is maybe a quarter pick if you're going half pick. I've got 25 Cent. I was at Micromania this past week, and I got to say hi to 25 Cent. He was a guest on our podcast a while back, if you remember that episode. And the one thing he said he wanted to do more than anything was to be in the Royal Rumble in the WWE. At Micromania, he was an absolute stud. He actually beat a real former WWE wrestler. who trained both Bad Bunny and Ronda Rousey. I forget his name, but he was a WWE wrestler. He trained Bad Bunny and Ronda Rousey, and 25 Cent beat him in Micromania. So he's beating like real full size WWE wrestlers, which is pretty impressive. So I know Micromania is pretty big. 25 Cent's their star, and he's mentioned multiple times that he wants to be in the Royal Rumble. So I would love to see it. And Triple H, I know you're watching this, so if you haven't touched base with 25 Cent, I know he's busy with tour, but he said he would drop everything to be in the Royal Rumble if he was given the opportunity to.
And I know we would all drop everything to watch him.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we on? I think this is
6.
Yeah, this is 6. I'm going with Jacob Fatu because, he's one of the great. I don't even need to explain why. He's a beast.
My pick, I'll go Kai Cenat. He was on Raw, and I know he and Aisha Speed are getting invited to the Royal Rumble. And I know Kai Cenat likes to go a little crazy. He doesn't want to just be there, filming stuff. He's going to want to get in the ring if he can. We already saw on Monday he's got like his own entrance music and stuff. So he's ready. He's ready to go if they call his name, I think.
That's a good point. The entrance music might, kind of be a hint that they're already prepared for him to enter. Okay. I'm going to go with The Rock because, he tried to main event WrestleMania last year. He's going to try to do it again. He's the final boss, so, he can kind of do whatever he wants, but it might be easier for him to just get in the ring and win the Rumble this year so we don't have any of the, we want Cody crap this time. I'm going with the final boss.
That's a great pick. I would love to see him. The only problem with The Rock is he does everything on his own agenda, and I don't know if he wants to risk going in the Royal Rumble if there's a chance he goes like first or second. That's a lot of work for him, and he doesn't like that. But that's a great pick. My next pick is one of my favorite wrestlers. We haven't seen him in a little while, but Randy Orton. I know he's kind of been out for a bit, but I think there's always a chance he comes back. With John Cena already confirmed for the Royal Rumble, he and Cena have kind of had sometimes alliances, sometimes feuds in WWE, but it'd be cool to see them face off. And I don't know if they'll have another chance to do like a full match again together. So, a face off between Randy and John Cena in the Rumble would be pretty sick.
My next pick is the Wise Man. He's a WWE Hall of Famer, but I don't think he's ever been in the Rumble before. And the reason why, that's not enough of a reason to choose him. I think, back during Survivor Series, War Games, CM Punk said that I'll join your team, but you owe me a favor. And I think that maybe this is his favor is you need to enter the Royal Rumble this year. Because I just think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So that's my pick.
That's a great pick. We haven't seen Paul Heyman fight in a while, but he's getting pretty involved in this bloodline stuff. So I wouldn't be shocked if he gets his hands dirty a little bit. My next pick, I'm going to go with Jake Paul. We already know Logan Paul is confirmed. And I know Jake's been a little quiet since his Mike Tyson fight. He might have been a little bit embarrassed because everyone was giving him shit for fighting an old man. So, he might come back and want to fight John Cena, who's another old man. But I think John Cena could take out Jake Paul. I think that'd be a bit of a more fair match than Jake versus Tyson. But I think, with Logan coming back, it'd be cool to see Jake Paul make a WWE appearance as well.
My number 9 pick is 25 Cent. We already went over this, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, he's gonna be my number 9 pick.
Yeah, great pick there. See, who was my next pick? My next pick, I'm going to go Edge. We talked about it a little bit last time. Broke his leg when he left the WWE, but I think now is his chance to kind of come back, say sorry a little bit, and get back into the WWE. And I just know if his entrance music comes on, people are going to go crazy for it. So that would be pretty electric. And I want to see Edge
I
back
agree.
in the WWE.
Yeah, I agree. He owes the fans an apology. If he had a great WWE career, but if he's gonna end it like this, I don't know if he wants to be remembered how this last year he's been. But okay, my number 10 pick is Shaq. We've been saying all year,
Yep.
Shaquille O'Neal. He's been in WWE before. He needs to come back.
Absolutely, I would love to see Shaq back in the ring. Another huge guy that's going to be hard to eliminate in like the Royal Rumble setting. My next pick would probably be The Undertaker. I know The Rock is maybe coming back, and The Undertaker seems to show up whenever The Rock is around. So it'd be pretty sick to see middle of the Royal Rumble, and all of a sudden all the lights go out, and then The Undertaker's in the ring. We know he did that at WrestleMania. This might be a chance for him to take out The Rock if The Rock does show up.
Yeah, I agree. If The Rock is there, there's a good chance Undertaker will be there too. But I'm not going to be picking him just because The Undertaker doesn't just show up.
No, that's true.
For everything.
Mm-hmm.
But my number, are we on 11?
I think so.
11 pick is Pat McAfee. We already talked about this. He was in it last year, but it's in Indianapolis. People like him, and he's gonna be there commentating. So I'm picking him.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick. I'm gonna go with Conor McGregor. I know he's kind of hinted at maybe being in the WWE, and again, you never know who's going to show up. He's a great fighter, and someone that I would, I think, would be a real competitor in a Royal Rumble event. I would say probably less likely, but definitely still a possibility. You can't rule it out.
Mm-hmm. So wait, that was 11. We have 4 left. Oh, this is tough. Okay, I'm gonna go with Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the WWE, but he's still wrestling. He's been in TNA for the last couple of months, and WWE just signed a deal with TNA where they're partnering. So Jeff Hardy, I'm picking him.
That's actually a good pick with the TNA thing. I like that. My next pick is Solo confirmed. If not, that's my pick.
No, yeah, that's a good one.
I think he's going to show up. We already kind of talked about it, but I think it's time for him to come back, and he'll face off with Roman in the Rumble.
Okay, I think this is 13. I'm picking Shane McMahon.
Okay.
He tried to come back at WrestleMania a couple of years ago and pulled his hammy. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to make another surprise comeback to kind of redeem himself and just make sure he stretches before.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. I would love to see him come back. My pick is going to be – I just had it and then I forgot who I was going to say. Brock Lesnar. We'll see if he comes back. I know he's kind of a legend. He had a lot of beef with John Cena and was kind of involved in the whole Vince McMahon stuff. But I think if there's any time that he comes back, it's now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my second to last pick is Joe Hendry. I don't really know a lot about this guy, but everyone on the internet wants him to be in it, and Triple H usually just does whatever the internet says.
Yeah, he was on my list too, so he's going to be my pick. He doesn't seem like a great fighter, but he has like a funny interest, and people on Twitter are obsessed with him. So I think he might show up and just get eliminated right away. But it's all about the clicks in this day and age. So we'll cover it on Chokeslam Radio if he does show up.
My last pick, Randy Orton, the Viper. He's going to come back. We already talked about him.
We did. My final pick is going to be Tyrese Halliburton. Shout out to Bo. I think he's been at WWE events before. He's a player on the Pacers. He would be good because he's a point guard, so he's kind of tall, but he's pretty athletic. So I think another celebrity entrance from Tyrese Halliburton would be a good one.
I agree. All right, well, I think we're out of time. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to head out.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Warriors.
We are out of time.
But, we will definitely have an episode next week to cover the Royal Rumble. Do you want to wait until then to reveal your Guinness Book World Record, or do you want to do it right now?
Yeah, we're going to wait and reveal it next week. So I still don't even know. I had one of our editors, I paid him to count it. So I still don't even know if I got it yet. So I can't wait. Yeah,
it's exciting. Here at Chokeslam Radio, we're covering all the best WWE stuff. And then just a bonus, we might be world record holders, and you guys might have been the first witnesses for that. So, keep tuning in. You never know what you're going to see on the show. And we're very excited for the Rumble this weekend.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you watch the Royal Rumble, and if you don't, make sure you watch Chokeslam Radio, and we'll let you know everything that happens. And thanks for watching, and have a great night.
Thank you for joining us on this bone-chilling journey through the world of WWE. Join us next time on your favorite podcast app, or live Tuesday nights on YouTube, Instagram, and X. As the final bell tolls, remember to stay tuned for more spine-tingling tales from the crypt. Chokeslam that button and subscribe. Check out srotu.org. NTRW15 on YouTube, or else. Until next time, may the power of the dead man be with you. Rest in peace.